What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another deck profile on the channel. Today I will be profiling my Fluffal Frightfur deck for you guys, so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Starting off, I play 3 copies of Fluffal Dog. Fluffal Dog is essentially the Stratos of the deck, where if it's normal or special summon, you can add a Fluffal monster or an Edgem Sabers from your deck to your hand. Next up, I run 3 copies of the Fluffal Bear, and then 2 copies of Fluffal Wings. With Fluffal Bear, you can send it from your hand to the graveyard to set a copy of Toy Vendor from the deck, and you can also tribute it to get a copy of Polymerization from the graveyard back to your hand. And then with Fluffal Wings, if it's in your graveyard, you can banish this card if you control Toy Vendor, as well as another Fluffal monster to draw a card. Then you can send Toy Vendor to the graveyard to draw again. Next up, I run 2 copies of the Fluffal Penguin. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Fluffal monster from your hand, except for Fluffal Penguin, but you can only do that once while this card is face up on the field. Also, if Fluffal Penguin is used for the fusion summon of a Frightfur fusion monster, you can draw 2 cards and discard 1. Anyway, moving on to the last of the Fluffal monsters, I play 1 copy of Fluffal Owl, and then finally 1 copy of Fluffal Cat. When Fluffal Owl is normal special summon, you can add a Polymerization from your deck to your hand. Fluffal Owl also has an effect where you pay 500 life points and you can fusion summon. Meanwhile, with Fluffal Cat, if it is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material, you can add 1 Polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. Moving on to the Edgem monster, I play 3 copies of the Edgem Chain, then 1 copy of the Edgem Sabers. When Edgem Chain declares an attack, you can add 1 Edgem Chain from your deck to your hand, and when Edgem Chain is sent from either the hand or the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Frightfur card from your deck to your hand. Its effects are only a hard once per turn, and you can only use 1 effect per turn. Meanwhile, with Edgem Sabers, if this card is in the graveyard, you can place 1 card from your hand on top of the deck to special summon it back. And then finally, for a hand trap, I run 3 copies of the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Yeah, a little disruption with a hand trap is not a bad thing, especially since this deck is built to OTK. Starting off the spells, I play 3 copies of the Frightfur Patchwork. With Patchwork, I can add 1 Polymerization and 1 Edgem monster from the deck to the hand. It's a mandatory 3 of in the deck because all Frightfur monsters do need at least 1 Fluffal monster and 1 Edgem monster, so being able to search out the minority of the deck is just excellent. For the next spell of the deck, I play 3 copies of Toy Vendor. This card generates a lot of advantage for the deck, as with it you can discard 1 card, draw a card and show it. If the shown card is a Fluffal monster, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand, otherwise discard the card you drew. Also, if Toy Vendor is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Edgem Sabers or 1 Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand. By using Bear to set Toy Vendor, you can activate its effect to discard Fluffal Wings for the cost to draw a card. Even if you don't reveal a Fluffal monster, you still have Wings in the graveyard, so you can banish Wings and another Fluffal monster to get a draw. Send Toy Vendor to the graveyard to draw another card, and then Toy Vendor's last effect will kick in to allow you to add a Fluffal monster or an Edgem Sabers from your deck to your hand. Moving on to the rest of the Frightfur spells, I run 1 copy of Frightfur Factory and then finally 1 copy of Frightfur Fusion. With Frightfur Factory, you can banish 1 Polymerization or 1 Fusion spell card from your graveyard to fusion summon using monsters in your hand or on the field as fusion materials. And if Frightfur Factory is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 banished Frightfur Fusion to your hand. Meanwhile, Frightfur Fusion is essentially the miracle fusion of the deck, allowing you to banish Fluffal and Edgem monsters to fusion summon. You can also banish Frightfur monsters to fusion for your Frightfur Sabertooth, but it's just a nice card, just a one-off because it is searchable and recurable. Rounding out the rest of the fusion spells, I run 3 copies of Polymerization and then 2 copies of Instant Fusion. Moving on to the rest of the spell cards, I play 3 Call by the Grave to deal the problematic hand traps we will face, 2 Foolish Burial Goods to send Toy Vendor to the graveyard, 2 Twin Twisters to deal with pesky back row that hinders this deck, and finally the 1 copy of Monster Reborn just to bring back resources for us to reuse for fusion plays. Moving on to the extra deck, I run 2 copies of the Frightfur Tiger. When Tiger is fusion summoned, you can target cards on the field up to the number of fusion materials used for its summon and destroy them. Also, whilst Tiger is on the field, all Frightfur monsters gain 300 attack for each Fluffal and Frightfur monster you control. Alongside Sabertooth, this can reach some pretty high numbers, Which, speaking of which, I also run 2 copies of Frightfur Sabertooth. With Sabertooth, when it's Fusion Summon, you can target 1 Frightfur monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Sabertooth also gives all Frightfur monsters you control 400 attack, and if it is Fusion Summon using 3 or more monsters, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Next up, I run 2 copies of Frightfur Kraken. With Kraken, once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard, but Kraken can't attack directly the turn you use this effect. Kraken can also make 2 attacks per battle phase, and at the end of the battle phase, if it is attacked, you can switch to defense position. I just want to make a note right now that the send effect is a soft once per turn, and it is also non-destruction. The final Frightfur monsters I run are 1 copy of Frightfur Wolf, and then finally the 1 copy of Frightfur Sheep. With Frightfur Wolf, it can attack a number of times up to the number of fusion materials used for its summon. If Frightfur Sheep battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step, and if it is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon Sheep back and it will gain 800 attack. Just 1 of each of these cards as they don't come up often. Moving on to the rest of the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, 1 copy of Evil Swarming Cyton Knight. If I'm forced to go first, I've also played 1 copy of number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. And for Link monsters, I play 1 copy of Crush Sheep, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, and finally the 1 copy of Borrelsword Dragon as another way to OTK. So that brings us to the end of the deck profile and the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. Follow me on Twitter for more updates and uploads, and if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comments below if you want to see a deck profile for a specific deck. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here for now, so until next time, may all your top decks be good ones.